Shalom, everybody. Brother Nicholas James Vanderlane here. Victory for the people of Israel from by the narrow path, which are the 10 Commandments. It is the 9th day of the 4th month on Elohim's Zadok Priest Dead Sea Scroll Enoch solar calendar. It's June 28th, 2019. Video is being broadcasted from the Famagus region of Cyprus. This video is titled Israelites at the Four Corners on a Flat Earth Map. So what I did was I took a flat earth map and I decided to find the four corners on the flat earth map, and you are looking at it. So what we have here is New Zealand. We have the westmost point of Australia. We have South Africa, and we have Argentina and Chile. And when you put it on this, when you connect them to make four corners, what you get here, it really struck me, and what you might be looking at is actually fulfillment of a prophecy. This shape of what you see is what you would be called like a banner or an ensign. An ensign is the very large flag that you would put on the back of a ship. And so this is actually in the shape of a banner or in the shape of an ensign, was what you're actually looking at. So here it is in Isaiah 11, talking about this ensign and talking about the gathering of Israel and Judah. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow forth out of his roots. And the Spirit of Yahweh shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, and the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahweh. So right now, this is obviously a prophecy, a messianic prophecy regarding Yahusha, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahweh. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteous he shall judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he will smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together. The earth and the little child shall lead them. So there's going to be a little child that's going to lead them. But that word for little child, that word for child is actually servant, and the word for little is less. So this is all talking about the end time Elijah who is going to come. Okay, the end time Elijah is the little child, but really he's the least of the servants. Yahushua said, the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. He also said that he who is the least among you shall be greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Well, the greatest is going to be the prodigal son that comes back to Yahusha that I talked about in my video, which is what the Revelation 12 sign was all about. Is all about the Elijah to come, the Elijah type to come, who is also Elijah is the prodigal son. And he's also Zerubbabel, mentioned in the book of Zechariah, being seed of Babylon. It was prophesied to him that you cannot do it through your own power, nor by might, but by my Spirit, saith Yahweh of hosts. Now, what is the Spirit? The Spirit is right here that we just read in Isaiah chapter 11, verse 2. And the Spirit of Yahweh shall rest upon him, who? The coming Elijah type, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, and the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahweh. So coming back down to here, this is a prophecy about the Messianic age. This Elijah type, as I have shared with you all, as it was shared with me, is going to be made a co-regent in the kingdom, in the millennial reign kingdom of Yahushua HaMashiach. Yahushua HaMashiach is the great king, hallelujah, but this is his faithful servant. This is going to be this person is going to be the faithful servant and the faithful steward as well. And what he does is when he comes back, he gives this person the kingdom, and this person is going to be the co-regent of the kingdom. He's called the prince in Ezekiel chapter, at the later chapters of Ezekiel chapter 46, he's called the prince. He's a King David type. The Spirit of Yahweh rested upon King David. Just go ahead and read the Psalms. And in fact, Almost all of David's Psalms are all written about this person that's called the overcomer in Revelation. That in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. This, I believe, is speaking of Yahushua HaMashiach. Now we're going to look at another ensign coming up. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall set his hand again, the second time, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, and from Paphos, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So they're not there now, but they're the remnant of his people, which are left from the diaspora, left from the captivity, the northern kingdom captivity. And he shall set up an ensign, which is a big banner, a big flag for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah. So the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah, from where? From the four corners of the earth. Back on this map, here it is. We just read this. And he will set up an ensign. What you're seeing right here is an ensign. Okay, this is possibly fulfillment of prophecy for the nations. And will assemble the dispersed of Israel and gather together the scattered of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So Israel and Judah together from the four corners of the earth. Well, who's Judah? That's a good question. Who is Judah? That is a good question. Who is Judah? One of the last surnames that we saw was in Maccabeus, and there's a lot of Maccabes here in Scotland. They had a royal throne in Scotland that lasted all these generations, and their diaspora to Scotland was documented in the Declaration of Arbroath. And now you can find these people, the Scots, everywhere on the four corners of the earth. Let's get here to Jeremiah 31, verse 8. Behold, I will bring them from the north country. The north country could allude to northern Assyria, which is where they were held captive. The northern kingdom was held captive in the north of Assyria, and then they were taken and they went up through Caucasus mountain ranges and then right around the Black Sea of the area called Scythia, and then they dwelt there. And then if you read the Declaration of Arbroath, they then started their migration from that area through the Tyrian Sea, which is outside of Italy, then dwelt in the Iberian Peninsula of Spain, and then they finally landed and rested in Scotland. And from Scotland, they have all blossomed out to the four corners of the earth. And not just Scotland, because it's all the same people, all of these Western Europeans, the Brits, the Welsh, the Irish, the Dutch, the French, the Spaniards, the Frieslanders, the Basque peoples, the Beige, the Hollanders. So they're all throughout this region, and they're all the same haplogroup, R1b. This is where they went. They went north. When they came out here, they were in this land, and then they were brought right up here in this north country of Scythia. And then from Scythia, they dispersed all over here to Western Europe, and also all along the coast. And also from this diaspora, they went into this region of Afghanistan, where you have the Bashkir peoples, and also see a remnant in the Kurdistan peoples. Also in the Hunza, you'll find Caucasian Hunzas there, as well throughout Afghanistan. Also, I'm going to share with you a fulfillment of Israelites found in China. It's in the scriptures, and I'm going to show you where. But just think of Hong Kong. In Jeremiah 38, 1 verse 8, behold, I will bring them forth from the north country and gather them from the utmost parts of the earth. So where are the utmost parts of the earth? Well, I'm looking at this flat earth map. New Zealand looks like an utmost part of the earth. Australia looks like an utmost part of the earth. South Africa and all these southern African nations like the utmost part of the earth. And then also down here in Chile and Argentina. There are people down here that speak Welsh, all down here in this area. The Falkland Islands are right here, which are owned by the British. And the British are in Argentina, and there's other Western Europeans here in South America and Argentina. So they are from the uttermost parts of the earth, and this is the uttermost parts of the earth, which are also the four corners of the earth right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So with that being said, this is an ensign, this design of this shape. And what you see is an ensign, and very much well be what I'm sharing with you could turn out to be true. We'll have to wait and see. But this is the best understanding that I have it, and I thought that I would add this into the conversation of where are the lost tribes of Israel. I've been studying this matter for 5 years. I have a background in anthropology, and this is my first video I have ever made on this subject, if you can believe it or not. I've given all the groups that have claimed to be the lost tribes of Israel the benefit of the doubt. But there is only one group of peoples that are in numbers, the sand of the sea, and also on the four corners of the earth, and also have a presence in Sinim, S-I-N-I-M, in China, in Hong Kong, where they're called out in the Isaiah 49 servant. This is one of his things that he'll recognize and call them out from China. So with that being said, this is my best understanding. I can't say that it's 100% for certain. We'll know for certain when Israel is judged at the beginning of this whole tribulation world end time period. Judgment begins at the house of Elohim. The Christians will be judged first, whether they're true or false. And then after that, at the same time, I should say, Israel will be judged, and then Elohim will then start the process of judging the world. Hopefully you're blessed by this all, and hopefully you get this. And fear Yahweh, your Elohim. Listen, O Israel. Yahweh, your Elohim, is Yahweh Echad. He is united, Father and Son. Yahushua HaMashiach. Hopefully you're blessed by this, and I'm signing off, and shalom.